to the live stream. It's just YouTube, PJBT.
PJBT Bowling Series YouTube, yep. And if you're on the Facebook, are you on the Facebook group for the PJBT as well?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I posted a link in there about an hour ago, so the link is in there, but it's also if you search YouTube PJBT.
Yeah, we have some other people who are saying,
Yep.
all right.
Do you mind making an announcement just to keep the table in front of you? Or if, just so I can see. Oh, yeah. Matt, question right here.
Am I allowed to resurface?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Hey.
Hi. Me. Yes. Two questions. Sure. So,
I just had like an actual cramp in my thumb.
You start, you just sit here, like you're so PJBT is strictly age-based. We don't care about time. What we're concerned about is USBC eligibility. So,
okay.
Are you adult sanctioned?
I
You can take it. Yeah, you can. You can. And even if you were under 18 and you were youth sanctioned, you can still bowl. If you have a sibling or someone else who wanted to bowl, you can still be youth sanctioned and get scholarship to match. So short answer is yes. You can. And if you're an adult, you can take national as your adult sanctioned. That's all we care about.
Yeah, it's adults.
Yep.
But we just want to make sure that him over here can still hold, like,
Yep. Yep.
here has their schedule.
Right. Right. Yep. Just make sure you sign up. Go online. Go to Facebook. There's a link.
Well, we're not signed up officially yet. We're watching the schedules.
Gotcha.
Sir, would I be in the way of this thing?
Nope, you're good. As long as no one's standing right here and I can see, that's all good. Thank you.
Right here?
Right there.
All right, good afternoon, PJBT fans. We are live here from 222 Dutch Lanes for the kickoff event of season 25, quarter of a century, here at the PJBT. We're here at 222 Dutch Lanes for major number 1 of the season. We have finished our qualifying, 9 games of qualifying with a couple cuts, and we now have our top 4 finalists from the scratch and handicap divisions. Matt down here is going to get ready to take things away. We'll get our introductions of our finalists on each side. We'll go over the format here after we hear who our finalists are. Major number 1 here presented by Lane Tamers Pro Shop, our presenting sponsor of major number 1 of this season. Mike Mouse over there. Mike Moss, sorry. He'll be running our girls only events this year. I believe the first one is next weekend. Go ahead and check out the girls only schedule and the rest of the PGBT schedule on our website, pgbtbowlingseries.com.
Get the link. Did you get the link to the live stream?
Yes, she did that. Perfect.
Yep.
So 4 bowls 1 and 2 bowls 3?
Yep. And then the winners bowl each other for the title. Yep. They're going to switch pairs too.
What's that?
So scratch and handicap for the final match, they'll go to the other.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Makes sense.
Looks like we're getting ready here. Gonna send it on down the mat to get things started.
Check. All right, good afternoon, bowling fans, and welcome to PJBT live action from our 25th anniversary kickoff major number 1 event this afternoon here at 222 Dutch Lanes in Ephrata, PA. Time to introduce our 4 finalists who will be competing in 2 semifinal matches at once. The winners then will bowl each other for the title. Starting with the scratch division, our number 4 seed from Phoenix, Maryland, Nick Trentler.
Nick Trentler.
Our number 3 seed from Telford, PA, Brendan Hunsinger.
Brendan Hunsinger, your 3 seed.
Our number 2 seed from Linnets, PA, Tyler Miller.
Tyler Miller, 2 seed on the scratch side.
And our tournament leader, the only bowler rating plus on the day at plus 11, from Stewartsville, New Jersey, Brady Weileman.
And Brady Weileman rounds out the scratch side. Your 1
Bowling
seed.
fans, that's a nice hand for our 4 scratch finalists for this afternoon's PJBT. All right, now it's time to introduce our 4 handicap finalists. Our number 4 seed from Lancaster, PA, Jordan Isle. Our number 3 seed from Harrisburg, PA, Sydney Kleckner.
Jordan Isle, our 4 seed, Sydney Kleckner, our 3 seed on the handicap
Our
side.
number 2 seed from Pine Grove Mills, PA, Ben Strickland.
Ben Strickland, your 2 seed on the handicap.
And our tournament leader, the only handicap bowler rating plus on the day at plus 109 from Whitehall, PA, Gracie Carnazin.
And Gracie Carnazin, your 1 seed on the handicap side.
Only again, another nice hand for our 4 handicap finalists for this afternoon's PJBT. All right, we will begin our 2 semifinal matches. They are bowling on a fresh pattern, the pattern we used for today's event when we started, and today's major, they will be competing on the PBA gold pins that we use at all of our major events. All right.
Let's go ahead and get their warm-ups in. We're going to have our handicap side starting out on lanes 3 and 4, scratches on 5 and 6. Today's bowlers competed in 6 games of qualifying across 12 pairs in this major format of the year. The pattern they bowled on is 2022-2023 PJBT number 4. It's a 40-foot oil pattern, under 2-to-1 on the ratio, 27.95 milliliters of total oil volume. Fairly flat pattern, which was very indicative of the scores we saw today, as you heard from Matt. The 2 bowlers, 1 from each side, finished today plus after their 9 games of total games that it took them to get to this point in the competition. So. After the 6 games of qualifying, we did cut the field down. I believe it was 26 on the scratch side, a few less on the handicap since the handicap side was smaller. I think it was 14. After an additional game of qualifying, game 7, field was shrunk in half, at least on the scratch side. I think it was 14-10 on the handicap side. And then 2 more games of qualifying, shrinking the field down to what we got right now. Down to the final 4. So total pins did carry over from each of those additional qualifying games, leaving us with our top 4 bowlers on each side here. Bowlers Tour, and we run in conjunction with the PJBT. Provide bowlers, once they age out of the PJBT, a chance to continue to bowl in events in the area. Albeit only scratch, but trying to provide a competitive setting for our bowlers that still wish to bowl outside of the PJBT. Learn more about the Keystone Bowlers Tour on the Keystone Bowlers Tour Facebook page, or we also have some information on the PJBTBowlingSeries.com website. Once we get into the competition, we'll go over kind of each bowler and kind of go through their qualifying. Give a brief overview of how scores are looking. Obviously, two people beat us. It was a grind fest today. It looked like I didn't get to see too many shots around the lanes during the day, but certainly the conditions on that old pattern definitely lots of second shots and spares are going to be crucial. I think if we want to foreshadow anything, I think there'll be some pretty crucial spares that can be made for whoever ends up winning this major number one. Our bowlers have about 5 minutes left to practice. Let's go over some upcoming events here, as today was our first event of the 2023-2024 season, the 25th anniversary of the PJBT. Of course, this was our first major of the year. Next weekend, there is the Parker Bone Youth Scholarship Tournament. That's a partner event that we'd like to at least advertise, but we do also have a girls-only event on Sunday, September 3rd at ABC North Lanes up in Harrisburg. That will start at 10 a.m. up at ABC North. Next event on the PJBT schedule, Sunday, September 10th at Bolero Keystone Lanes up in Reading, PA. That's sponsored by Strike Zone Pro Shop. That'll be a 10 a.m. start as well. Go ahead and get your entries in on the PJBT website. Go ahead and prepay. If that's your first event of the season, go ahead and consider getting that PJBT membership. $35 gets you a discounted entry fee into all your tournaments throughout the year. As a member, also make sure to sign up early so you do not have to pay the increased fee if you decide to walk up. So entry fees do vary between whether you're a member or not, and then if you decide to pre-register or walk in on the day of the event. So all the information on sign up can be found on the PJBTBowlingSeries.com website. Our next major coming up not too far from now, Sunday, September 17th. That's actually the third event of the year. Major number 2 at ABC East Lanes up in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. That one's sponsored by Brunswick Bowling. That'll be on another challenge pattern created by the PJBT. 10 a.m. start to that as well. Our first team style event is going to be Sunday, September 24th, 21 and under doubles event number 1. That's a max of 60 teams, so get your entries in for that earlier rather than later. It's up at Paja Rose Bowl up in Allentown, sponsored by Roto Grip and Our Family's Pro Shop. That'll be on a recreational pattern. So a bunch of events coming up here to kick off the 2023-2024 season for the PJBT. Full schedule can be found on our website. Also, if you're at the event, we have plenty of flyers printed out, so you can stick it on your fridge so you never miss an event. And also on the adult side, we went over some of our upcoming youth events. Our first adult event is October 1st at Suburban Bowlerama. That is the Keystone Bowlers Tour. That is going to be up in York, Pennsylvania. We're going to do that on a sport pattern to be announced. It's a 10 a.m. start. Actually, I believe that one is a little bit earlier start. 9:45 a.m. start, sorry, at our first Keystone Bowlers Tour event up in York. So go ahead and visit the Keystone Bowlers Tour Facebook page. If you'd like to get in your entry, fill out the roster form, get yourself added to our roster. It's a great time. So gave you our first team event that's coming up, first adult event, first girls only event, and our next major and our next regular season event. So again, visit that Facebook, visit that YouTube or website if you'd like to get more information about all of our upcoming events. we run all the way up until June of 2024, where we'll finish the season out at our championship weekend, the 25th annual championship weekend. Always a great time. I'm sure we'll have some interesting surprises up our sleeves as we get to the end of the season. Of course, you got to go big for 25 years, right? All right, send out to Matt. Go ahead and get this thing started.
Okay, bowling fans, time to begin our semifinal matches. On the scratch side, we have top seed Brady Weileman taking on number 4 seed Nick Trentler. In the other semifinal, we have number 2 seed Tyler Miller taking on number 3 seed Brendan Hunsinger. Winners of those 2 semifinals will bowl each other 1 game on 3 and 4 for the title. On the handicap side, to your left, we have top seed Gracie Carmison taking on number 4 seed Jordan Isle. Difference in handicap is 35 going to Gracie. And in the other semifinal match, we have number 2 seed Ben Strickland taking on number 3 seed Sydney Kleckner. Sydney gets the handicap difference of 7 in that semifinal. Winners of those 2 semifinals will bowl each other on 5 and 6 for the title. All right, bowling fans, let's give a nice hand for our 8 semifinalists in today's PJBT.
All right, good luck to all of our contenders here. Compete for Major number 1 title of the year. Alright, just a heads up, we are kind of going our Wi-Fi connection is spotty. So if you do have any connection issues, we apologize, but it looks like everything's all good for now. Stream quality is definitely not excellent, but we do have hopefully at least a solid enough connection to be able to catch all the action here uninterrupted. Let's go over our matchups here in the semifinal matches. So, modified step ladder format here, our 4 seed and our 1 seed, each handicap and scratch division are going head-to-head against each other. And our 2 and 3 seeds are bowling head-to-head. Each of those matches, the winners will then bowl each other for the title. On the scratch side, Brady Weileman is our 1 seed. He is competing against Nick Trentler in this semifinal match. Brady, throughout qualifying, very consistent scores. Ended up at minus 22 through his 6 games of qualifying. He had a low game of a 181, high game of 219, but everything else in the 190s. So consistency was certainly key for him today, and that's kind of what it takes on these harder patterns to kind of keep it in line and not have those outlier games to the low side, of course, an outlier to the higher side. Avoiding those 160s, 150s that can knock you out quick. Nick Trentler, kind of the opposite. He of course had that. He had a 246 to start out his qualifying today, but then had a couple rough patches through 2 through 5 in the 140s and 150s, 160s, but was able to come back at game 5 and 6 with the 191 and 242 to be able to finish qualifying at minus 60. On the scratch side, our 2 and 3 seed. Tyler Miller is our 2 seed, and Brendan Hunsinger is our 3 seed. Tyler went minus 87 through qualifying. Kind of a consistent day as well. Kind of hit a wall there in the 6th game with the 145, but throughout the day, very consistent 180s and a couple 200 games as well. Finished minus 87 and get into the finals at minus 51. And Brendan Hunsinger, he started out the day 256 on the scratch side, and then kind of glided his way to a minus 1 finish. It was plus all day until that last game, but those big games can certainly help throughout the day. And then getting into the finals at 118, so a little bit of a struggle as the pattern developed. But we are refreshing for the finals, so we'll see.
And we want to thank Nick for helping us out the live stream today. This is tournament director Matt. I want to thank everybody for coming out today. Great turnout today for our first event. 103 entries for today's event. 67 we're competing in the scratch division. So one of our largest fields in the scratch division. 36 in handicap, make the 103. And now we're playing 4 each division. Nick mentioned the scratch bowlers. Leader, tournament leader, give us some stats on our handicap book. Our handicap book. Oh, did I say that? I meant it. Didn't you realize it did that?
Let's go ahead and take a quick look at our handicap bowlers. We got Jordan I and Gracie Farmington bowl on the handicap side of the 114. Gracie the 1 seed. Not the 4. 8 bid on the 4 over the shot. Gracie finished qualifying at plus 121. Consistent for her. And got finals at plus 109. While Jordan plus 16 through her 6 games and minus 52 after her 9th game. Only one more spot for qualifying, but consistency and enough plus in the beginning of the day to get her to these finals. And our 2 and 3 seed, Ben Strickland is our 2 seed, and Sidney Clarkner is our 3 seed. Ben finished qualifying at minus 99 and finished the 9th game at minus 31. Sidney Clarkner got the 6 games qualifying at minus 65, and improved a little bit to minus 26 to get into the finals. Now that we learned a little bit about our qualifiers here, let's get into a little bit of the action here for to wrap up our third frame of the semifinal match. Scratch side, Tyler and Brendan both 3 through 2, so it's still quite early over here. Again, like I said, Spare is going to be Spare's the key, Spare's will be slow. Brennan playing it straight, keeping everything in front of him, comes up a little bit high and loses 16.
Brennan had the lead for most of the day in the scratch division. Only during the eliminator rounds today that we tried to do in the second round did he kind of lose the lead on some little games late. He's been the top leader for most of the day. We had all qualifying. He actually finished qualifying as the leader at -1, so we had no bowlers in scratch. Finished qualifying plus after 6 games, which is very interesting. I don't know, did you talk about that at all?
A little bit, definitely.
Yes.
Not easy. Judged by scores and definitely flat. 40 foot, under 2-to-1 ratio, so certainly a challenge out there for our bowlers. If I were lacing up a bowl on this, I'd be happy with a couple strikes every game. If I can at least get a couple of shots in.
Yeah, the one thing about the scoring pace is that a lot of people think the low scoring pace when you have these patterns. But the reality of it is, when you have one good game, you can jump right back into it.
Exactly.
And that's so important.
Yep, one good game and then consistency is best.
Absolutely.
Keep making a consistent shot, get a string of 3 together, you can have a little big game, there's one game upstairs, stay consistent.
It truly puts the game of spares back into play. You know, one extra spare here or there, you know, there's a difference in bowling your average or below your average. And, you know, today's the type of day where when you bowl your average, you gain ground in the field. No question.
Something that I heard from Parker, friend of the PJBT,
at JBT Weekend last year, so some very insightful stuff. We're looking forward to it. During the Q&A, people were asking, how you determine if you're in the right zone, especially when you're stripping your pads. You kind of look around you. You don't see a lot of other people striking. If you're coming up and you got your ball within 9 counts, you might be okay. And that's, if bowlers can see it and get that motion to get 9 most of the time, not leave rods and stuff, you see no one else striking on, you really don't have to change too much. So unless you're solid field around your striking on, you really don't have to change. So, I don't think this is too many bowlers in the whole day. I'm watching the games develop. I'm sure we'll have a whole fresh. It's not great now. I did hear that a few people were having to swing a little bit once they started, by that 8 or 9 game. But you'll see these Brendan, you're kind of straighter.
One thing I noticed and I heard from today is there was clearly out of bounds. There was clearly a heavy hook in if you missed. Clearly you had a very small window. You had to get the ball in to really get the that can make it hard. Consistency is really, really key on patterns like this. So,
I'm very shocked. They're usually 65 pounds, but I expect to see a lot of people trying to control from keeping everything in front. I know it's 40 foot, but there's flatter patterns, especially with some balls that are a little more handed. I'm honestly, like really, it's fine, but I don't think it's a ball press.
not yet.
I don't expect no one to feel commentary. See it already.
It's looking like we have setup right now. Now, look at these scores on the handicap side to your left. Grayson has a small lead with a handicap of 754. On the other match, has the lead at the moment. And with 53 and a spare fifth. Sydney will have so she has 67, actually 74 with a handicap. So she has a 21 hit through 5 breaks. Ball just going to finish there. He is keeping the board clean. Did fall. We don't need a replay. Although we could have a replay if we needed it.
Be cool to figure that out here.
He started with a strike, and then anyway, I don't know the second and the third of the split. So get a break there, bring the double, and get him back to the match. Crazy gets the first one with a 3 spare.
Sometimes
trying to go 247. Trying to get that back. 19 with the fifth. That tight that. Right now, the match between Brendan and Tyler. Brendan going to strike, but strike.
Inside. Using the friction available in the middle, depending on kind of where you are. If you know you have that friction, you can go with that. Tyler's using kind of a smoother ball, kind of rolling the pad, right as soon as he's in that ball's trying to grab. So if you can have the speed to get through that friction part of the rolling.
Yep, and Brenda has 17 through 5 frames. Back to the handicap side. The local city open to the 6th. Racing gets the strike.
Opens are very generous today.
We're going to have to take a score.
Gold pins are flying today. We are bowling on the Because I don't know the full story behind it. I'm sure they have some history behind it.
They do. They actually were used in Reno. Well, let me backtrack a second. Actually, we learned about pole pins from our friend Mark III, who actually rolled on blue pins back about 20 years ago. They won the USBC Masters in Reno, where the PDA used these pins. Now, for kind of a couple of years, they were sold on the market. A bunch of bowling centers across the nation had them and used them as regular pins. They are heavier than your average white pin. They're about 5.5 ounces heavier, which makes them a little bit different. And we were fortunate enough to get our hands on 8 sets of them, brand new, a couple of years ago, and we use them. We break them out for our majors. So major number 1, they bowl all these tougher pins. So just so unique for our players to come out and compete all in the PJBT.
Alright.
So on the stretch side, we're finishing off frame 6. So that match just got a series. He goes 98 hours. We're tired of the double.
Match there.
So everyone's matched there. And back-to-back opens for the 6th. With a streak here that can actually be leading. That's it. So we have 4 in a row for him. Gets him in that match. Now he can pass out to 46. Only get a shoot to 21. On the handicap side, we're at frame 8. Racing with a double. That's a big double for her.
Very impressive shot right there. 10 back.
Brady makes a recovery shot, making a strike. Jordan trying to keep up, makes a spare. So right now, Gracie is still on pace to take the lead in the match. Meanwhile, Ben and Sydney, Ben comes in right in the match. 1, 2, 4, 10. That was very interesting. She got a 9 count. I think the crowd thought she struck. And then she did strike. And it said, I'm pin fell away. Sydney with the lead. Comes in a little bit high, crosses the 45. Build up, pick up the spare. The opponent running in his 10th. Ben with a spare. Spare in the 8th. Brendan, unfair there, missing his 10th. First open of the match. So the ever popular 5, 7, 10 for Gracie. Pin lead as they finish the 9th. Ben comes in high, leaving the split. Nick Trentler with a big strike there, 5 in a row for him. So that is going to put him in the driver's seat of the match. Sydney in the 9th. She gets a 5 count. Working on the strike, she'll try to pick up her spare. Brady with the spare. So Brady can max out only at 201 while his opponent can still shoot 246. So handicap side, Ben Strickland with 120 in the 9th. Sydney is going to have about a 20-pin lead going into the 10th. Brendan comes in high, leaving the 6-pin. Sydney goes 5 miss in the 9th, so 134 for her scratch, 141 with handicap. So 21-pin lead as we start the 10th frame on the handicap side. Jordan makes a good shot, but leaves the 10-pin. And that will pretty much wrap it up. So Gracie Carmison will advance to the title match.
Important shot here for Tyler. I think it's in a good spot. A little light, it leaves the bucket. Brendan trying to convert the spare. He picks up his 6-pin.
Okay, so final score, Gracie finishes with 117 scratch. Let me have those cards. It's weird. Just turn it up as loud as it goes.
Yeah, it's fixed. It's fixed now. All right, Tyler up here. This is gonna be a dead even match if he converts his spare, and he makes it. That's a tough make right now in the 8th frame. But we are all square.
Gracie
square with
Larson. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, all square here. Brendan and Tyler, and Brady. Looks like he leaves the 610. So I think might be finished over here. Let's see if Nick up on 6. He pounds 10 back, and that's a final over there. I don't think he even needed that. But Nick Trentler on 6 in a row, dominating the statement right there in his match.
And it looks like Sydney Kleckner will capture the title in the other semifinal match. Sydney Kleckner makes her spare. Her opponent already on the scoreboard, Ben Strickland with 129. So Ben will finish 3rd today.
Wow. Close match here. Brendan just threw a great shot. Just wiggled the 8-pin over on the scratch side. Shot for shot right now. So Tyler with a chance to get an upper hand here.
Final scores on the handicap side. Carmison defeated Isle 152 to 122. And Sydney Kleckner defeats Ben Strickland 160 to 129. So then that sets up our title match in handicap.
All right.
We'll be starting 10th frame in a moment on scratch.
Tyler Miller comes up a little bit high. He leaves the 3-pin. Oh, Brennan just hooks it right past the 8-pin. So he's going to be going in the 10th on a open. This match is not over yet, though. Tyler here with the spare can have a pretty good upper hand going into the 10th frame.
Well, interesting here. Tyler will have the lead in the match if he makes his spare.
Yep.
But if he misses his spare, we have a dead even tie going into the 10th frame.
Yeah. Poor Brady. He threw one in the dish over there. Kind of hard coming against a buzzsaw and Nick Trentler in this match. So Tyler up 1-5. Important spare here. And he throws straight at it. Wise move.
That gives him the lead in the match going into the 10th frame.
say very important if you can learn to shoot your spares straight. That's still something I'm struggling with, but especially on these tougher patterns, if you don't have the look on the first shot, being able to throw straight at your single pin spares is very helpful. Not easy though. Nick Trentler up, wrapping off his game. Knocks the 7 out late of the 7-10.
He'll have the highest score in this match. So Nick with the spare will be in the 220s. Has a fill ball here.
So in the match with Brendan and Tyler, Brendan can max out at 184. Tyler can max out at 94.
225 to 156 victory for Nate Trentler.
Tyler with an important shot here.
Or Nick Trentler, rather.
And he crosses over to knock it, get all 10. Take what you can get. Brendan here gonna need the match it if he wants to stay in this match. And he does.
Still have a match yet. Brendan could strike out, shoot 184. Tyler would need a mark in
Needs
the
a mark.
Needs a mark in this fill of the 10th to get 185. So if he would leave something that he can only get 9 pins, that would put him at 184. We could still end up with a tie here.
We can. So Tyler's going to need to leave a make. If he's going to do anything, it's got to be a make. That's not an easy task in this pattern. So, but let's see what he adjusts.
Big shot here, and he gets the strike. So Tyler Miller will move on to the title match.
Kept that one out. Good adjustment. So he's able to shut out Brendan. Brendan with a valiant finish there. He doubles.
So a good run today for Brendan Hunsinger. Led most of the day. He'll finish in 4th today.
Tyler Miller finishes, strikes out, 195. And Brendan, good effort there in the end. He finishes 184. Close match all the way through.
195, 184. Great matches. Okay, so we'll give out some hardware. And then we'll move on to our title match. You are watching the PJBT live event number 1 of our 25th anniversary season. You got Nick and Matt here at 222 Dutch Lanes. Okay, bowling fans, it is time to give out our awards for our semifinal matches for today. In the scratch division, our 4th place finisher receiving a $175 scholarship certificate, and his 4th place award goes to Brendan Hunsinger. And our third place finisher in the scratch division, also receiving a $175 scholarship certificate and award, goes to Brady Weileman. Okay, officially our fourth place finisher in the handicap division, getting a $125 scholarship certificate and award, goes to Jordan Isle. And officially our third place finisher in the handicap division, also receiving a $125 scholarship certificate and award, goes to Ben Strickland. All right, our winners will swap pairs and we will go on to our title matches.
All right, title match time here. PJBT Major number 1 for the 25th season. Going to get a few minutes of warm up, a couple balls of warm up on each pair as they have switched sides from the scratch and handicap side. So scratch will be on the left, 3 and 4, handicap on 5 and 6. Thank you to all 40 viewers we got right now joining us on the PJBT YouTube page. Looking forward to a hopefully full season of streaming action here on YouTube. Of course, pending our internet connection that we do get at East Center and availability of equipment. Myself, Josh Sadazan, will both be kind of tag teaming live streaming. Mainly Josh, as I, based out of Maryland, kind of makes it tough to get up to every Pennsylvania event, of course, in addition to our Keystone Bowlers Tour. But we'll be doing our best to at least provide, hopefully, some more consistent live streams on the YouTube platform this season.
No, you did it, and then you gave it back. No, I got it.
you.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you. Have a good week.
Yes, see you next week.
Before we get started here in this finals, just another recap of upcoming events. Next week is our girls only event, number 1 at ABC North Lanes, Sunday, September 3rd. Again, ABC North Lanes, 10 a.m. start. Our next regular season PJBT event is at Bolero Heister on September 10th. Again, a 10 a.m. start up there in Reading. Hope to see as many of you there. Again, if you haven't and didn't bowl this event, go ahead, make sure you go ahead and purchase that PJBT membership to get those discounted entry fees throughout the whole season when you pre-register.
Gracie, it's going to be your choice. Do you want to look at the monitor?
You can purchase them on site or the day of, but we highly recommend you go online and pre-register for all events just to make sure you can secure your spot in each event. Looks like we're about to get ready here. Nick and Tyler are 2 finalists on the scratch side. Sydney and Gracie on the handicap side. Gracie Karmazin's going to be not giving up. She's going to be having 24 pins of handicap against Sydney. And of course on the scratch side, head to head. All right, we're going to set it down the mat as we start our finals.
All right, bowling fans, time to begin our title matches for the first ever 25th anniversary season of the PJBT, our major number 1 event. On the scratch side, to your left, we have number 2 seed Tyler Miller taking on number 4 seed Nick Trendler. Tyler has elected to have Nick start the match on lane 3. On the handicap side, we have top seed Gracie Karmazin taking on number 3 seed Sid Kleckner. Gracie has elected to have Sydney start the match on lane 5, and the difference in handicap is 24 going to Gracie. All right, bowling fans, we started with 103 bowlers today. Let's give our 4 finalists a nice round of applause as they begin their title matches.
And here we go, final match for the title of our first major of the year. Who knows, first title, first major of the year. We get to our end of season awards in next June, and you hear at the end of the year who had the most titles of the year and when it starts. So history could be made starting the day for some bowler, whether it's Sydney or Gracie or Tyler or Nick. Will one of these bowlers start a season and make history in the PJBT? You never know. It's
absolutely. And one thing that's important to know for a lot of people is that this year, with moving our location of Championship Weekend, you're not guaranteed to get into Championship Weekend by just winning a title. You will get bonus points in the point standings to try to qualify in the top, what will be the top 60 in each division this year, because we're going to be taking 120. But it is important to get titles, because the more titles you get, you're going to get bonus pins in the point standings.
Yep.
This year, the way we're doing it is if you win a regular event, you get 100 bonus points in the point standings. Majors like today's win will be a bonus of 200 points. So that's why majors are so important on the schedule this year. So the scratch match, we begin with both bowlers throwing a strike in the title match.
And Sydney, she goes 9 out. Gracie up on her first frame, 10 back.
Big shot there to start the match. So just a reminder, if you have friends, tell them to tune in for our live streaming today from here at 222 Dutch Lanes, the PJBT First Major.
Tyler gets the 410 the fall there late. Tyler starts out with a double.
Gracie gets the ball a little bit wide, leaves the 1-2-8. That was a perfect example of when you get the ball to the outside part of the lane, it does not make it back. But she'll see if she can pick up the spare.
Miss it. A little miss in there for Nick, but he's able to carry there.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. You got to have those breaks sometimes in route to victory. Gracie with a big start, strike spare.
Yeah.
I believe in the last match, she didn't have a mark until like the 6th frame.
Yeah.
So she starts with strike spare, a big start for her in this match.
We're going to have a shootout over here. Both bowlers with a lot of speed, power on our scratch side. So I think it might take 220 to win this thing.
They certainly seem like they're lined up, and considering the challenge, how challenging the pattern's been all day, that's going to be interesting. And Sydney gets her first strike of the match. So that's a big strike for her.
It's all about controlling that pocket, that 1-3. Just keep the ball in the 1-3.
Well, here's the thing. When you bowl on these tougher patterns, one thing I want to say about Sydney's ball is Sydney throws more of a straight ball.
Yep.
We always talk about these patterns don't make as much of a difference for a bowler who throws the ball straight. If you throw it straighter on these tougher patterns, the ball really doesn't, she's basically pointing the ball at the head pin and just trying to get something to happen. And a lot of times it does.
Looks like a good shot from Tyler. Held.
Great shot there.
Made a ball change too. I didn't notice that he was throwing that orange.
Yeah.
I'm not keeping up with balls nowadays. I know they had that idle heel. I know they had that idle. They had that idle Helios, but he's definitely changed balls.
And a great response by Sydney there. So her opponent starts with strike spare, and she comes back with a double after the open. So great shot there.
Gracie up on her 3rd frame. Wow.
She gets a strike. Wow. Big shot for her. So interestingly enough, when you look at Gracie's scorecard, she entered the tournament today. Consistently she was around 130, but here's the thing. Her low game was 103, entering average 111. And, highest game of the day was 158. So, she didn't have any, huge game.
No.
But, again, just kind of keep the ball in play, and that's what she's doing. So, just off to a great start here.
Exactly. Consistency.
Yep. Tyler Miller, first miss in the scratch match, leaves the 3-6-9-10. So, he'll try to pick up his spare there. Gracie not able to convert, so 66 in the 4th.
This spare's not easy even on recreation, so I'd be curious if he throws straight at it or tries to hook at it. Yeah, that's the
challenge.
Yeah,
These types of patterns.
Especially with out of bounds outside, it's hard to get that thing to turn the corner down the lane.
So 84 in the 4th for him. Meanwhile, Sydney, pretty good shot. A little bit light, leaves the 4-pin. So she'll try to pick up her spare.
That 6 count that Tyler had, that's something I saw Belmo make on TV with a plastic ball for a major title. That's confidence to be able to throw straight at something like that with that double wood.
Well, and anybody who's ever bowled on a flat pattern will tell you that, any spare combination that involves the 3-pin.
Yep.
Baby split 310. 3-5-6 for a left-hander. 3-9-10. Anything that involves the 3-pin is always tricky because it's easy to send the ball wide and miss the 3-pin. It's also easy to get it in and hook.
Ooh.
So
Nick Trentler, he goes straight at it, just like we're talking there on.
Yep, and that ball hooked
Crossed
in the middle
over,
of the lane.
yep.
So both bowlers go 6-3 in the 4th. They keep mimicking each other, and we got a tie match at 84 through 4 frames. Meanwhile, Sydney picks up her spare in the 4th. Now up in the 5th. Looks like a pretty good shot again.
All right.
Leaves a 6-10. So she'll try to pick up her spare.
Let's see how Nick responds here. That looks a little wide.
Yep, that looks just like the last shot when we were talking. He got it wide, got a 6 count.
Wide, quick, and just kind of went through the pattern.
And again, that's the
Yeah.
nature of the pattern.
Because you don't want to miss in and then come through the face.
Correct.
So,
Yep.
I guess I'd
Sydney
rather
picks up her spare.
have that leave instead of a split.
Sure, absolutely.
Nick up for his spare, trying to clean that up. Reverse
This
that time.
Yep. Got it that time.
So Tyler with a chance to go ahead up on this match. Gracie up 1-6. Looks a
Ball
little
looks
in.
Yep.
And similar, crosses over, missed the head pin, left with a tiny washout there.
1-3-6. She'll try to pick up the spare. Tyler can actually take the lead in the match here, like you said. But so far, both scratch bowlers have been mimicking every shot for shot, frame for frame so far. Gracie picks up her spare. So that match halfway through, Sydney has cut into the handicap deficit, but it is a 14-pin lead for Gracie. Gracie is up 14 through 5. Tyler with a big break there.
Yeah, misses in off the hand. Looked like kind of wanted to cross over, but able to throw some wood over there at the 6-10.
Gracie gets 7, leaves the 3-6-9. Tricky spare once again on this pattern.
Working fast. She wasted no time. Up there, ready to go.
Yep.
That's how I wish it could be in league. I wish everybody was up and ready to bowl when it was their turn. If that could be how league goes, be out of league and
a lot quicker. Yeah.
Lot quicker.
She doesn't convert her spare though, so 90 in the 6th, 114 with her handicap. So this is a chance for Sydney. If Sydney can get 2 marks in the next 2 frames, the match is going to be pretty even.
Yep. Let's see Tyler here on his 6th frame. See if he can turn a double. He gets that one in the air a little bit, and 10 back.
Yeah, capitalizes on the break and makes a great shot. Sydney with a strike in the 6th. So the strike in the 6th,
it's the most uneven match, I'd say, at this point.
Yeah, I'd say, especially if she puts a mark up here, it's going to be pretty even.
And
this time Nick comes in high, leaves the 3-6. Try to convert his spare.
Ball change for Nick there.
Sydney in the 7th. Looks like that one goes a little bit further right. She leaves the 2-4-5. Certainly a makeable spare.
And picks up the 3-6.
So right now, Nick can max out at 242, where Tyler's still on pace to shoot 260, but one miss and he's in the 240s. So we still have a pretty even match. Sydney gets 1, so that will give her 122 in the 7th. So this match is clearly tightened up.
Nick with another miss out. Kind of, again, it looks like he just went right through the break point.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's so easy to do that on this pattern. Gracie in the 7th. She gets a strike.
That's a big mark right there.
Yep, big strike there.
Puts her back in the lead there.
And her 3rd strike of the match.
Nick converts his spare.
The key for Gracie is going to be this 8th frame. If she can put a mark up here, she can kind of regain the lead comfortably.
Comfortably, yeah.
But if she has an open, as we all know, strike open,
that's a little
always
wide.
Hurts the count. She got a 3 count, and she got it out into that area where the ball's just going to slide. So she'll try to convert the spare.
Looks like Tyler's going to let the quick work and Gracie go ahead and clean up her spare.
Better job of keeping the ball in, but it might overhook. It does.
All right.
And she gets 5. So 116 in the 8th, 140 with her handicap. So realistically, if Sydney gets a mark,
puts her
we're
back
dead even.
Yeah. Tyler misses a little wide. I think he missed that one a little bit at the bottom compared to his last frame. He definitely caught the last one there, but kind of let that one go. So a Little bucket for Tyler.
Well, this is going to be a tricky pickup, but
It is.
if he can convert, he'll have a 10-pin lead.
Yep. All right, Sydney up 1-6. All right, makeable.
Good shot.
5-8, 5-9.
5-9.
Yeah, mark here, yeah, dead even almost. Good spare
He
for
gets it.
Tyler.
So big spare there. 10-pin lead for him. 3 frames to go. Big spare here for Sydney. She is
got a hook.
not able
No.
to convert. So 130 in the 8th. So it is a 10-pin lead. 10 pins for Gracie Kamarzen as we head into the foundation 9th frame.
Anyone's match on both sides. This is exciting.
10 pins separate both of our matches. Handicap starts the 9th, scratch starting the 8th.
Nine
Good
count.
count there.
He got
Tyler
that
in
one
the
better.
8th. Got that one wide. But
Yeah.
here's the thing, if you're going to miss out
Yep.
and leave something you can make. And that's
Yep.
what he did. 1-2
Yep.
is his lead.
Uh,
Sydney picks up her
Converts it.
spare.
That's a big spare right there. So Gracie, a mark can keep her 10-pin lead. Anything other than a mark at this point, it's be a slight lead for Sydney.
I mean, both bowlers, we could end in a tie at
Yep.
this point.
Yeah, I think either one of
Certainly
these
on
matches
that
is
side. Big shot here in the 9th
That
for
looks
Gracie.
good. Huge
She
shot.
throws a big clutch strike.
That's a huge shot right there. That's her 3rd strike of the game. 4th.
4th strike of the game, yeah.
They've all been on that right lane too.
So even if she goes spare fill, she'll be in the 150 scratch, which would give her 170. Sydney can still shoot 180 scratch, so
Uh-oh.
there's still a match. She gets
And-
1. 1 in the first ball of the 10th. Little bit of
Count-
nerves
count.
probably there.
Count here is very important if you can't pick this up.
Agreed.
Very, very important. 8 pins is 16 pins.
Correct. On the scratch side, Tyler picked up his spare. Let's see what Nick can do.
Looks like he
Nick
went to
goes-
urethane. That's a purple hammer he went to and throwing
Yep.
it through. Trying to find that friction.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, she gets 7. So she'll finish with 142, 166. So here's the setup. If Sydney gets a good count first ball, she needs a mark and then a count again. So she needs good count twice and with a spare in between. Meanwhile, Nick,
He missed another
He's-
one. Another one. What? 1, 2, 4, 7. That's the second one he's missed this game. Same way.
yep, so now he can only max out at 205. Sydney for
It's a good
in
shot.
the 9th. Gets a strike. I'm sorry, first ball of the 10th, rather. Gets a strike. And now she is going to need just 7 pins.
7 pins for a
7
win.
pins on 2 balls to pick up the title. Back-to-back opens for Trentler, opening the door for Tyler. They walk through.
Sydney needs 7.
7 for Sydney. That's gonna miss the head pin.
That's
she
6.
gets 6.
So we have at least a
So
tie.
we have at least a tie right now. She
Needs
needs to
one.
get 1 pin. She needs 1.
Come on, Sid. Practice.
So Sydney Kleckner leaving the 1-2-8-9. The spare is irrelevant. She needs 1 pin of the 4. And she has all of it. What a match. 170 to 166. Sydney Kleckner is your major champion for the first event of the 25th season.
And Tyler here, I think he's got it all but wrapped up, honestly. Keep it on the lane these next couple shots because Nick can max out at 184.
Well, here's the thing, though. He has to get a mark in the 9th.
He needs
and
a
the 10th.
mark. Needs a mark.
Yeah, because he could, if he would miss this.
Two opens put you under 184.
Two
so
opens put
he
you in
needs
the
a mark.
180s. Yep, he needs two. He needs at least one mark. Great title match there on the handicap side. Came down to the last shot. So you can't ask for much more than that.
Looks like he's got it. If it gets over, no.
Oh, he gets 2, so 172. He still has an 18-pin lead
So he
going into
needs-
the 10th.
he needs a
But he's
mark to
still
shut
gonna
out.
Need a mark. Still going to need a mark.
Mark and 3 pins. So essentially, any spare would be enough. Anything other than a spare, Nick has a chance to strike out.
First shot of the 10th
Oh my.
goes wide.
1, 2, 8, 10.
1, 2, 8, 10.
Certainly makeable.
It is makeable, but now he's
Gotta get-
really put himself in a position because he could give his opponent a chance. As we just
You
talked
really-
about,
Yeah.
open, 9th and 10th would open the door for his opponent to mathematically have a shot.
You really want to make sure you get 3 here. If you really don't want anything less than 3.
No,
You
correct.
need the count here if you got to make this or get the count. And it looks good. You got the count.
Right, so
that
that's the count. So
that count is
181.
huge.
So he cannot shut out his opponent.
Nope. But that count is huge, and now Nick needs a double and
Double and 8.
Double and
Double
8.
and 8.
So that's that.
But he has
Getting
to
that
double.
3. Getting that 3 was important because that turns it to a double and a third really good shot to at least
But
get 8.
let's point out, Nick
has
probably
to
felt like
shut-
he was dead in the water.
Yeah.
Now he's got a shot. First shot of the 10th.
Well, at least hit the head.
Got to turn. And he gets it.
That's he finally
So there's
gets.
one.
That's the first time he's gotten that. I think in a while. I mean, he's hit the head pin, but he got the purple hammer to get back to the head pin on that one.
I mean, he probably felt like he didn't have a chance in this match.
Right.
So one shot now and good count. And remember, we've had issues with counts today.
Yeah.
Anything could happen. Even if he gets the second strike, he still needs an 8 count.
Still needs to hit the head pin and leave a good. He still needs to make 2 more good shots.
So let's see what happens here. Bus strike.
Gets it wide.
Looks wide. He's not going to make it. And Tyler Miller is going to be your major champion in the scratch division. $181 to $171 is the final match. 10 pins separate our winners. So some really exciting title matches there today for our first event of the season.
Came down to the last shot on both matches.
It really did.
What a way to start the 25th season.
Absolutely. Sydney was the number 3 seed coming in. Tyler was the number 2 seed coming into the title matches. And he reaches victory circle. All right, we're going to give out some final awards, and then I will I'm going to send the winners back for a brief interview with Nick Rhines.
All right.
So stay tuned. You're watching the PJBT live on YouTube. Time to give out some final hardware. Oh, you know what? I have to get a picture with the winners. Just take a picture. By next time. Okay, bowling fans, that concludes our first event of the 25th anniversary season of the Pennsylvania Junior Bowlers Tournament here at 222 Dutch Lanes in Ephrata, PA, sponsored by Lane Taylor's Pro Shop today. Our runner-up finisher in the scratch division, receiving a $225 scholarship certificate and award goes to Nick Treitler. And our runner-up finisher in the handicap division, she will receive $200 scholarship certificate and award goes to Gracie Carmazin. Okay, and our winners for today, our first champions of 2023-24, our scratch division champion receiving a $300 scholarship certificate and the first place glass bowling pin for a major title goes to Tyler Miller. And our winner in the handicap division, she will receive a $300 scholarship certificate and the first place glass bowling pin for a major title goes to Sydney Kleckner. And a picture with our winners, and then we'll send them back for a final interview. Don't forget to tune in. Next Sunday, we have our first ever girls only event of the season. We'll be at ABC North Lanes in Harrisburg. The PJBT will pick up again 2 weeks from today. On Sunday, September the 10th, we'll be at Easter Lanes in Reading. Make sure you tune in here on YouTube all season for live action finals every week of the PJBT in our 25th anniversary season. Thank you.
All right, give us 1 second. We'll get prepared for our winners interview.
It's actually not a bad pick. Go get picked. Have a good time. Hey, go tell me you played 50-50 today. All right. Say, what's up? Want to interview me? When we first got, well, we got his USBC number. The first one that was Vanessa joke. It's good alter ego. I don't think USBC, I have no idea. There was a Vendola too on
Hey, just don't do like Rihanna. They asked her, like, what ball you throw? What did you throw today? And she said, my ball.
Good job today.
All right. Let's. All right, make sure we can see this. All right. Here we go. All right, so I'm here with our handicap champion, Sydney Kleckner. Sydney, congratulations.
Thank you.
Let's go ahead. I was overhearing over there. What ball did you throw? They're saying not to make a stupid answer to that one.
Rotor grip hyped.
There you go. All right. So what was the strategy for the day? So what? 11 games you bowled today. Most of them on, until the finals fresh. What was your kind of strategy?
Mostly just throw the ball and hope for the best. Aim for the middle.
Yep, I saw you kind of have a more direct line, so hitting the head pin definitely crucial today, making your spares. Throughout qualifying, what was kind of like when you had a bad game? What did you kind of do to try and regroup and stay consistent and make it to these finals?
I just tried talking with my friends and people here with me, trying to find different strategies for picking up spares and just other ways to get pins.
Right. Is this your first PJBT title? What number is this?
This would be number 2.
Okay, is this your first major title?
No.
So your 2 titles are major titles. Okay. Let's see. So in that final match, it came down in the end. Both sides. We'll get over the scratch side in a second, but the handicap side, it came down to that final spare. You got 6. You needed 7. What were you thinking when you were going up to shoot that spare?
I was so nervous. It was a very crucial part of the game, but I'm glad it went well.
Good. All right. So next week, are you bowling in the girls only invitation?
I
Or
am.
not invitational, but girls only event next week. Okay. Well, good luck to you next week. Maybe make it 2 weeks in a row. Start the season. I think that'd be historic. So, congrats again.
Thank you.
All right, and let's get our scratch champion over here. All right, welcome to the live stream, Tyler. All right, our scratch champion, Tyler Miller. Let's go over first. I asked Sydney first because they were joking with her about ball. What ball were you throwing? What was kind of your game plan today on this tricky kind of flat pattern?
So I started the day off with my Storm Dark Code, and then I switched to my Roto Grip Idle Helios just to try to tame off the back ends, because in the beginning my Dark Code was really coming up strong, so I wanted to try to tame that, which I ended up finishing with a 201 that first game, and I kind of continued with that Helios throughout the day until in the final I was just trying to control the pocket. So then I tried throwing the Dark Code, keep the pocket in control, and at least leave makeables if I can, and hope for the best there.
Gotcha. And I overheard, I think, first title, PJBT title?
Yeah, it's my first title.
Okay.
It's really exciting.
Nice. So throughout the day, qualifying, it looks like you finished kind of consistent day. Couple games over 200, but for the most part consistent until that 6th game. I mean, tell me what you did after that 6th game of qualifying to kind of rebound and make it to the finals.
So the 6th game, I had a little mental break. I went off to the side, took some deep breaths, thought about everything I was doing wrong and how I need to fix that up in the second half. I need to fix a lot. It was mostly just bad shots. I needed to tighten up, which in the final you saw a couple shots. I got a little bit open, let it out, had a bad result because of it. But overall, it was just mentally just finding everything, just fixing it, and then doing better in the second half.
Gotcha. So certainly looking forward to seeing you out here in the rest of the PJBT season. Certainly on these tricky patterns, being able to control that pocket and be able to hit the 1-3 we were talking about in the live stream. Just being able to get to the 1-3 pocket in patterns like this and conditions like this is important. So it's certainly between you and Nick. At the end there, it was really who could hit the pocket, who could get to that 1-3 pocket, and it looked like it was getting kind of tough there at the end. So, but any final thoughts? Anything like to say?
I just want to do a shout out because I want to shout out Millersville Bowling. I see all you out there watching the live stream, and I love you guys, and you guys are awesome. I really love you guys.
Awesome. Well, congrats, Tyler.
Thank you.
Congrats. I forgot to ask Sydney. Do you have any shout outs? I'll let Tyler get in some shout outs. Do you have any shout outs for the live stream? I'm still new to this.
Sydney,
You can shout out. This is all on the record and all
Do I have to come over
for
to this?
eternal. You can. Do you have any shout outs? Who do you want to thank? You can come sit over here.
Come sit over here.
Who
Okay.
who do you want to shout out? Your supporters or?
Most importantly, ABC North Lanes, my family, my friends here with me, and for sure, Coach Peter Kapuczynski.
There we go. All right. Perfect. Well, thank you. Thank you.
Wait, I feel
Okay.
awful. I feel awful.
You feel awful. Oh no. This is all recorded eternally, so yeah, definitely want to make sure you get this right.
It's just, I felt awful. I forgot. My parents. I thank my parents. They're awesome. They're supportive. I feel so bad for you guys. I feel so bad. But yeah.
There's a lot.
But yeah.
So,
But yeah.
All right. All right. Thank you, guys. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap things up here. Again, go to the PJBT Bowling Series website to keep up to date with all the upcoming events. Sign up for future events. And we look forward to seeing you all at our next live stream. I don't believe we'll be live. We might be live for the girls only event next weekend, but certainly we look forward to seeing all of you the next time here on the PJBT Bowling Series YouTube page.